All right, we got 2 ready players. It is not round 1 anymore. It is now round 2. And we've got Huffaluffagus and Fractal 161. I think it's fair to say a lot of people's brackets are still intact at this point. Certainly the overdogs have continued on to round 2. But, I mean, some pretty big challenges from the previous players. Eyeball and Rapta. But we got 2 ready players, so let's get them started. They are ready to go. Oh, let me fix Fractal's camera. Sorry about that. And let us count them down. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, Fractal wants his whole face shown. He's like, please show my entire face. I'm like, all right, I will. Fractal is like way behind. I hate doing this while the match is going on, but I think I'm going to refresh one of the streams, so hopefully they'll catch up a little bit. All right, and they did catch up, so I think worth it. Apologies. All right, 70,000 for Huff, 69,000 for Fractal. Huff's going to uncover the right side. And he's ready. And both players kind of fighting up here. Huff with a better board. But Fractal will get out of this, uncover the right side, and actually is open now before Huff is. Huff, long bar dependent, gets the long bar. Fractal can't use that one for a Tetris and is getting up even higher. And RNG not being a bro. Oh, Fractal going to get that L over and then get the Tetris. I mean, that is just crazy. And another Tetris for Fractal, 152. 130 here for Huffaluffagus. I mean, that was really... I mean, I can't even comprehend how that's possible. 175 Fractal, 156 Huffaluffagus. If we do get to $3,500, then both of these players would be in the money. So, you know, we've got 9 broadcasts to get another $180. What? How much is it? Another $183 into the prize pool. I think we can do it. And frankly, if we don't, I'll probably just put it in because I think that's fun. But it'll come out of Pumpy's paycheck. So trying not to let that happen. 182 for Huff. Bang Tetris for Fractal, 247. Shall Be Satisfied asks, what happens if power goes out for one of the players and it's late into the game? We'll deal with that situation when we come to it. But, you know, we generally try to do the reasonable thing. We don't always have an explicit rule for everything. We just try to use good judgment. $315 for Fractal, $254 for Huffaluffagus. Minor Tyler asks, is Mega Master something we're going to see in the future? Well, we'll see. Maybe. This is a little bit of a test run just to see if that's something that works. One of the factors is going to be, you know, that we're going to do a top 8 broadcast at the end of the month. And if we get a lot of people saying, oh, I can't make it, can I reschedule? It's like, no, this is when the event is, you know. If we get a lot of that stuff, then obviously it's not going to work and we'll just have to go back to our, you know, old model. But, and, you know, who knows what else. So it's just a test and we'll see how it goes. 387 Fractal, 351 for Huffaluffagus. Coal Bucket says, if we get to 3,500 in a normal CTM with 16 players, would all 16 get money? Yeah, that would be. That's allegedly what would happen. I have a tiny bit of a problem with that, but we'll figure out how to make it fair. Because then it's just you get it just for qualifying, and then I think there's weird incentives around qualifying, and we'll have to be more stringent about some of the qualifying procedures. 420 for Huffaluffagus, 479 for Fractal. Huff's gonna Tetris bang. $531 Fractal, 117 lines. Huff 446. There's a Tetris, 118 lines. So same is basically the same number of lines and 64,000 points apart. I didn't make up the, we're going to pay 16 people. Pumpy just did that. it's like, wait, Pumpy. I don't know the implications of that. But whatever, we'll go with it and figure it out. 602 transition for Fractal, 540 for Huffaluffagus. That is 62,000 points for those of you who need the math done. Happy to do it for you. Huff up a little bit high, having to take some burns. Bang Tetris for both. Huff will bring that stack down a bit. All right, Huff down toward the bottom. Gonna get clean with that square, column 9 and 10. Tetris for Fractal, 700,000 here on 20. Not sure if that long bar was exactly where he wanted it, but that'll work. I mean, who am I to doubt the great Fractal? Basically, if the piece goes down, that's where he wanted it, right? 705 for the Fractal, 684 for Huff, so a little bit of burning for Fractal is going to allow Huff to get some of this deficit back. But Huff now getting a little droughted. There's a long bar for Huff. Fractal going to Tetris. Huff set up for another one. Huff doing a little bit of cleaning. Oh, Fractal's going to miss that S spin. That'll slow him down a little bit more. Huff, 753, so hot on his heels. Just one Tetris behind. Fractal's going to get a Tetris, though. Now it's Huff with a little bit of cleanup to do. And there's Huff opening up the right side. Bang Tetris, 785, still back by one Tetris. Huff's going to get that Tetris, and he's actually in the score lead now. Look at the line difference. And you'll see that Fractal is kind of for that moment had the pace lead. Now pace in quotation marks because it's a little bit less of a factor now since players do not just automatically top out on level 29 or, soon after as they did in the past. So kind of just as soon as Game Scout worked out all the mechanics of how pace stat is supposed to work, it's irrelevant now. So good job, Game Scout. But I made a good video, right? Everybody's very excited. But, for like DAS matches and non-roller matches and kind of lower tier matches, it makes total sense. Game Scout with the $173 contribution to get us to $3,500. And that means the top 16 players in this tournament will be paid out. Greatest of all time, Game Scout. Fractal with the A42 here on 27. That is A42. Huff's going to get a Tetris A39 into 29. So Huff is going to have to stay alive, score some points, hope Fractal tops out, or just in the meantime. Fractal with the 1.1, one line to go until 29. Huff needs to stay alive here. Fractal into 29, kind of a little bit of Spire in the middle of his board. And we'll see 31 for Huffaluffagus, A64. Fractal at B36 are on 30. So Fractal's just gonna, Huff's gonna need to just stay alive, keep scoring. Fractal's gonna need to stay alive, keep scoring, both of them. Sometimes you'll see people get a little more aggressive. There's Huff with the Tetris, B21. Fractal's board getting a little bit complicated, but able to take this down over on a couple of burns on the left side. I think Fractal may be trying to set up for something, but just has to duck out of those opportunities. Both players keep going. Huff at level 34, Fractal 33. Huff is a Tetris behind. Less than a Tetris behind, but still, I mean, you probably want to get that Tetris. Fractal's board getting a little complicated here in columns 1 through 4, but able to bring this down. There's a nice L for the left side. Into 35 is Huff, 34 Fractal. Huff is 25,000 points behind. A nice low board for both. So it's really just execution. Fractal with the CO9 on 29. And we're heading into some interesting territory. Huff is set up for the Tetris. Has to take the burn, though. Was kind of going for it. B93. And he's going to open up that long board. It's spending that square on the left side. Both players with 1.2s. And Huff's board getting higher and higher and not sustainable. And he's going to top out at 1.208. Fractal with the 1.286. Yeah, that was kind of a crazy match right there. That one really could have gone just forever. And Fractal now with the D46, the 1.3. And he can keep going if he wants to and just go for it. And we'll see what he can get. And he's just gonna go. He's gonna leave it. He's like, nope, it's done. We're going. I can do this again. He's just gonna top out. What a Chad. So what an amazing match right there. Huff with the 1.208, Fractal ending up with a 1.370. And wow. All right, everybody, we back, and the players are now finally ready. Oh my God, making us wait. Can you imagine? All right, it's game 2 between Huffaluffagus and Fractal. Fractal up 1-0 3-1 Tetris. Einer77, thank you for the kind words. Sorry, multiple people on the internet today doing things on streams. So I don't know if you can hear people in the background, but my apologies to the world. All right, Tetris for Huff. Fractal already has one. And a couple of burns there for Fractal just to keep everything square and nice and tidy. And Tetris for Fractal. I think I need to hydrate a little. I don't think this Coke Zero is doing it, so I have to use my salty water. Yeah, thanks so much again for Game Scout to get us to exactly to $3,500. Crazy. I think just thanks to the generous contributions from our community, I think we're up to, I don't know, almost $11,000. And if you think about like CTWC's prize pool last year was 10. So I don't know. I mean, it seems like maybe we could be pushing that prize pool higher just from, you know, this year. I mean, who knows what they'll do this year? We'll see. I hope so. 150 for Fractal. 148 for Huffaluffagus. Tetris for Huff, 171 and 172 for Fractal. There we go. Just had to have a sip of my salty water. So there you go. 260. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's somebody in the house that has problems controlling the volume of their voice, much like Austin Powers in the famed 1997 film Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. $291 for Huff, $313 for Fractal. Fractal with this a little bit of burning to do. That long bar will help. Yeah, there are people who don't know that you... Well, I'm not going to get into it. I'll say the wrong thing, and I'll get in trouble. 297 Huff, 359 for Fractal. That is a 60,000 point lead, roughly. Oh, a line spin was missed. Oh my god, and I missed the missed line spin too, so it's like a meta missed line spin. Right, Huff's just going to take the burns, transfer the well over back to the right. One thing I wonder about is, now that these world records are being smashed in NTSC, I mean, we saw Eric ICX and, and Cheese and all these other folks smashing the world records through extended post-28 play. Well, we start to see an emphasis maybe on people getting the pre-kill screen world record in the sense of just trying to be as efficient as possible, through 28. And will that be a thing? Will people go for that? Like no burns, try to get literally no, which is gotta be impossible, but never say impossible. But I'd be very curious to see people make a run at those kind of records. Well, true. Scotto says no burns until 28. That's true. On an RNG manipped run, and I think that counts and is an important thing. But also doing it on like a non-RNG manipped run, I think, is, a feat as well that I would like to see. 566 for Fractal. He's in a Tetris 589 through 119 lines. And 479 for Huff through 126. Just going to miss that L spin at a very inconvenient time for Huff. All right, Huff's going to open up the right side and bang Tetris. So 515 here on 20 for Huffaluffagus, 663 on 19 for Fractal. It's a huge pace here on 19, and another Tetris 690. So Fractal up 150,000 points here on level 20. Fractal Tetris on level 20, 717. Huff into 21 at 549. And a bit complicated, but able to bring this down. Bang Tetris for Huff. Fractal burning. Opening up the right side. There's a T over there. And bang Tetris for Fractal, 776. All right, there was one for Huff. 625. 804 Fractal. Into level 23. Separated by, 5 to 7 lines. There's one for Huff. There's one for Fractal. 210,000 point lead for Fractal, and Fractal has lines in hand. Again, not the biggest deal pace-wise, but you would prefer to get as many points as you can before it gets really difficult on 29, so it's not completely irrelevant. Bank Tetris for Huff, 749. Set up again. Long bar on column 9, and there's one in column 10 for the Tetris, 780. 927 for Fractal. He's going to take that triple, and then there's a Tetris, a little bit of a parity thing in the middle of his stack. It's 1T here to help sort it out. And Fractal's just going to take a few burns. Has, a lead, and there's the max out here on 26. So when you've got a big lead like that, you can afford to take some more conservative lines here. Tetris Fractal 832. Huff 821. So there is a Tetris for Huff on 27. Yeah, people saying Fractal gets the max with a single, right? You don't see that all the time. 891 for Huffaluffagus on 28. There is a Tetris 925. Fractal still on 27 at A70. And it's amazing to think that Huff or any player is still in this at this point. That's Tetris nowadays. And Huff's board going to break down a bit. Nothing he can do about it. Fractal going to get heart number 2. And GG's to Fractal. Minor Tyler says, Vandy read my comment. I did indeed. It was a fine one. All right, Huff going to restart and try to catch up here on 29. Fractal, there you go. Topping out. B66, so the 1.166 for Fractal. And just had a lead on Huff the entire time. So there you go. Huff gonna have to reverse sweep again. Huff did reverse sweep against Eyeball. And looking to do it again. But this time, that reverse sweep was huge. Because it got Huff into the money, so that's good for Huff. I guess bad for Eyeball. I guess it depends on who you are. Good or bad. Fractal says, reverse sweep is not possible because I am incapable of losing, especially not topping out early. Oh my god, he's eating Huffaluffagus for instant lunch. Yeah, here's a Miles dig here for Huff. All right, Huff says ready, and Fractal appears to be ready with the Hover 3, so let us get this underway. Fractal up 2-0 here in round 2 of what this month is a 5-round affair in Mega Masters, April 2022. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. We are 43 followers away from 5,000 followers. So if you are watching this and not following, your follow is very important to us. So follow, and there you go. Had a little bit of frames there, guys. My apologies. But yeah, if you are not following and you're watching, a follow would be really appreciated. So we're trying to get to 5,000. It's a nice little milestone to get to. And I think we're at 4,260 on YouTube, and so yeah, that would be great too. Eventually to get to 5,000. Of course, one day we'd like to get up to 100,000. I think that's kind of the long-term goal, is to get to 100,000. So certainly if you like some of the content on YouTube, or even just you like it on Twitch, one of the best ways to share it with people is on YouTube after it happens. So we would love it if you would do that every so often. It's great for us. It's great for the overall Tetris scene. You know, we've got, we're putting out, 25 plus videos a month. So we're doing our best to just keep the content coming for classic Tetris. Fractal getting out of a bit of a high dig before it, kind of metastasized into something else. 145 Fractal, 105 now, 128 for Huffluffagus. Thanks for the follow, Eagle Crane. And Smash God 11. And Fractal's biggest fan. And everybody else who followed. $151 Huff, $191 for Fractal. Oh, Brevin says, congrats on making CTM the most popular classic Tetris monthly tournament. Amazing. All right, Tetris for Huff, 198. Fractal, 239. Dan V. Weller, of course, one of our helpers, uploading stuff to YouTube for us to take some of the strain off of our friend Pumpy. Fractal going to misdrop that T, but no problem. Bang Tetris. That'll bring the stack down. The next long bar will go over to the left. And there's the long bar. And there it is left. $267 Huffluffagus, $287 Fractal, 161. And I think it's weird that Huffluffagus had to have the underscore in his name, as if someone already had it. And then he was like, well, I'm happy to be the other Huffluffagus, no problem. I wouldn't, if that was, I want the name. I don't want the name plus some numbers or an underscore. I want to be known as that one name. So I would have just picked another name. 341 for Fractal, 340 for Huff. And both are going to Tetris, so they are a neck and neck, same line count, about 500 points apart. Small Jordan converted a Prime sub into a Tier 1 paid sub, so look at that. Small Jordan, thank you so much. You will see Small Jordan in a little bit on Hopefuls, which I think we'll be able to do on this channel. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if Zeno is here, but it was scheduled for 6 p.m. It's now 5:53, so I think maybe they can wait it out. 457 for Fractal. $456 Huff. There's another Tetris Fractal. 503 through 113. Derby Danny with the Prime sub. Oh, Zeno's here. Zeno, are you guys going to wait this out, or are you going to do it on MT2? You can't wait it out? All right, you'll start on MT2. Gotcha. All right. Well, yeah, you can. You got some simul action here. If this game goes much past 6 o'clock, they're on a tight schedule, so you can watch the Hopeful Circuit after this. And I think it's Kitten, Confusing Poke, Small Jordan, and somebody else. All right, 602 Fractal, 554 Huffluffagus. And there's Tetris for Huff into 19, 579. So right on the heels of Fractal. Tetris Fractal 662. There's one for Huff 634, separated by 7 lines. Fractal set up for one. Huff getting set up. And there it is, finally. Tetris Fractal set up for Huff. Huff back by less than 30,000 points. And has, 6 to 8 lines in hand, so pace-wise, pretty darn close. There's Tetris Fractal 727 into 23. Those clean retro USB AVS Minos right there. They are so fresh, so clean. 758 Fractal Bank Tetris, now 788, 726 for Huff into 23. All right, couple of burns here for Huff. Trying to save some lines. There is one Tetris and 2 Tetrises for Huff. 789. There's one for Fractal. Fractal ahead by about 9 lines. Huff with another one. All right, there's kind of a awkward L piece for Fractal. That's going to cost some lines, but not too many. And gets out of it with ease. Bank Tetris Fractal 886. And we are fast approaching transition number 2, which happens at 230 lines, and the speed increases yet again. Once thought completely unplayable, and the only way to really play into it was to build up for 2 Tetrises on 28 and then just hope to kind of get a couple of long bars down the middle. A lot different nowadays, where players are just setting up for Tetrises on 29. And playing very, very deep. A15 for Huffaluffagus, A25 for Fractal, both players with the max out score. Fractal trying to get a good board going into 29. He's going to need it. Huff going to get the Tetris, actually has the lead now in score. Fractal into 29, Tetris on the right side. And Huff trying to have a good board going into 29. Fractal with the A94 on level 30. Board kind of getting complicated with those Z pieces. Fractal, I think, is he going to survive this? Fractal is going to top out at A99. Oh, and Huff's left side. Huff can't do anything about it. The opening was there. He didn't know. He couldn't get the long bar to the left. If he did, he could have brought it down. But Fractal is going to survive by the skin of his teeth. Less than 1 Tetris difference. Players, over, getting to 29, level 30. Less than a Tetris difference between these 2 great players here in game 3. Fractal gets the hearts, and Fractal is a top 8 finalist here in April's Mega Masters. And you will see Fractal on April 30th battling it out for a huge prize in what is already our largest ever prize pool. So GG's to you, Fractal, and GG's Huff. Huff will make it into the prize pool, just barely, having won his first match. So, yeah, we will see those folks. Hey, everybody, this is your old pal, Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.